Hey, Next Gen Millionaires, how you doing? It's Joe Burns, the Money Master. I'm here this week. We're going to talk about um, leaning into your passion to make more money. Um, Now, I want to kind of tie a couple things to it, and we're going to talk about the attitude of command today. If you have not seen or downloaded the Attitudes of Money, then I would suggest going and downloading that. You go to attitudesofmoney.com and download that, and then you would understand what the attitude of command is. So this week, I want to chat just a little bit about leaning into your passion and how the attitude of command um, ties in with that, right? So um, as I coach and as I talk to people and um, clients ask me questions and things like that happen, um, there's always this thing where people kind of start to get stuck when they're making money. Not everybody, but there are some people, and I'm like, okay, so let's go down the route of like, what's your passion? What do you really like to do? Because when we get in business, when we start business, we always think, well, I just want to make some money, so I'm going to start this business, have this idea, and you're just going to run with it. The problem is eventually it gets hard. Now, if that's setting up the business, if that's for selling, if that's, um, I don't know, like those beginning days of business can be really tough. I know there's stats out there, and I don't know them, so I'll slaughter it, right? But a certain percentage of all small businesses that start all end up closing within the first couple of years. Why? Because it gets hard. And the question is, why does it get hard? Right? And as I've looked at my own businesses, as I've looked at other people's businesses, as I've helped them make more money, the number one thing that usually comes up is really like, what's their passion, and is their business aligned with what their passion is? Right? And we got to start thinking about this, because a lot of people say, "Well, Joe, I just want to be a business. I want to make some money," and because I don't know, sometimes they have reasons, sometimes they don't. But here's the part I want to talk about, right? It's if we're not following our passion, then when it gets hard, we're going to stop. Or we're going to get shiny object syndrome, and we're going to like bounce from one thing to the next to the next. And when we continue to disrupt our momentum like that, it's really hard to make money. Okay? So the real question I got to ask is, why are we not following our passion? Because the passion is what's really going to drive us to keep going even when it gets hard. Our passion is going to continue to drive us to make decisions within our businesses that we might not want to make. And I guarantee that every time we follow our passion, every time we do what we love, then we're going to make more money at it. People are going to become infectious with our energy. It's not going to be a problem anymore to find sales, to find new clients, because you're just going to be talking all over the place about what it is you do. And it's very fascinating to look at that, because here's the deal. If we look at the attitude of command, the attitude of command is really, I had somebody reframe it for me one time. It was helpful for her to kind of reframe this, right? But she's like, "Oh, that's kind of like just having faith." Well, yeah, it's like having faith in what you're doing, but there's another layer like below that, right? Because faith is a lot of hope. If we look at the attitude of command, we know money will just be there. It just shows up. We ask for something and it's there. We don't have to worry anymore whether it's going to show up or not show up. That's really what the attitude of command is saying. So when we look at our passion and how these two tie together, right? When we're following our passion, when we're following the thing that really drives us. Now, a quick caveat on this, like if you don't know or you kind of think what your passion is, you're watching this video and you're like, I don't know, I'm trying some things out. That's cool. There's an exploratory phase. Debbie talks about all the time in the coaching she does. There's an exploratory phase you do to kind of figure out what you want to do. And it's okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, like, even as you're exploring, you can make money the entire time. Okay. You don't got to give away your services for free. So stop doing that. Like, for reals. There's got to be a give receive part. But find that passion. If you don't know what it is, pick something that you're really passionate about and just try it out. Right? You got to start somewhere. And then we have to just know that money is going to show up. Okay? Because what happens, and where most people get the attitude of command wrong, is they start to falter when they don't get the results right away. Or they don't get the results they were looking for right away, right? They're not setting goals or setting expectations. If we set goals, then we can understand what the process is that we're going through to get to where we want to go. Right? And we're gonna have money stories come up. Last week I talked about money stories. We're gonna have money stories gonna come up. We're gonna have other people's money stories come up. We're gonna have old stories about lots of different things come up, and it's gonna kind of get in the way of what we're really trying to accomplish. That's why I say set a goal, not an expectation. Because the goals allow us to be flexible and move around. Expectations are really us setting the highest, what did I say, the highest imagined form of what the outcome can be with no room for flexibility. And just a little hint, if we set expectations, we're never going to meet them. So goals, set a goal, see if you can accomplish it. And if not, then again, follow the path to be like, why didn't I accomplish this? But know that money's there. And as you build a relationship with it, it starts to become your best friend. It really does. A best friend that we can always rely on. And that's the difference, right? And when we look at the relationship we have with money, that's usually where we go wrong. A lot of people don't even look at it like it's a relationship. And two, we always question it, right? We're not trusting it. We've been burnt too many times in the past. So we got to fix that, because your passion is what you really want to do, right? You want to go do big things in this world. You want to change the world. You want to impact people. And that's important. And I support you 100% in that. We got to have money to be able to do that. Okay? We have to have money to realize our big dreams. It's a resource we have to have. It's one resource, not the only one. All the money in the world isn't going to help you get to where you're trying to go. You need people, you need time, you need energy, you need some other resources. But money is one of those things. But we have to start treating it like it's there for us, no matter what. Again, I'm not going to tell you to go like just spend money irresponsibly, right? That responsibility comes down to you and your definition of it. But we have to know that when we do the work, when we're passionate, when we're driving towards what we really want, then the money will be there. We have to stop worrying about how it's going to come in. That's us trying to control the situation too much. We have to know that it will be there. Okay? So this is the question everybody always asks. Like, okay, attitude of command. Okay, I get that. But how can I guarantee it's always there? Well, you got to believe in yourself. You have to trust yourself. You got to do the work. And when you do that, money is a byproduct of you doing that. So really, if you want to really break it down, right, it's really just trusting yourself that you're going to go accomplish what you set out to do. So that's why passion is so important in like the beginning part of this conversation. Because if we're not passionate about it, we're going to stop doing it. Doesn't matter how much money we're making. I can point you to countless stories on the internet, right, where people make a lot of money, but they're not passionate about what they're doing and they just quit and go, right? When I was in my corporate job in IT, I was making a lot of money. I was making a really good salary, but I wasn't passionate about it anymore. I didn't really care about fixing the problems or solving the solutions. It didn't help me stay there anymore. I could have. I was really good at what I did. But that lack of passion drove me to start like not caring. And that not caring started to show. And it was time for me to go. So just some things to think about this week. What's your passion? What drives you? What drives you to get out of bed in the morning? Right? And then what are you doing to make that happen? And as you do that, and as you can start out with faith, but there's a knowing that money will be there if you just show up for yourself, you show up for your people, and you get the work done. And money will be there. Okay? If you can get to that point where it's more important that you're helping people that are paying you, okay? Not just giving away your services for free, but that you're helping people that are paying you, the money will continue to show up. in the amount you want, right? And there's a lot more there we can unpack and do all that. And then we'll say that for another day. But anyways, this week, figure out your passion. Figure out if what you're doing is your passion. If not, it's time to start navigating towards that. Don't drop everything you're doing. You still need to survive. I get that. But start navigating towards that and just know money will be there along the way. I know it's easier said than done, but check in with yourself when it doesn't feel like that, because it's an indicator, it's a message telling you that something's going on. So it's time to look at that. Cool. Yeah, so that's what I got for you this week. I'd love to hear what your passions are. Drop them in the comments. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, subscribe to this channel. This is, again, where I'm moving all of my live streams and other content is here on my YouTube channel. So if you found me in different mediums, like on Facebook or somewhere else, it's all being consolidated here. So subscribe, hit the button, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next week. Bye.